Hey there, you looking kinda cute. Please consider subscribing and check out our Patreon for more. Enjoy the video. We were done with practice one Friday after school. A part of the orchestra people had already left and packed up. I was having trouble with the catches of my case for my violin. Some girls were taking their time and talking to each other nearby. They were sure their parents wouldn't be there to pick them up yet, but they didn't care. The music teacher, Miss Granger, who was also our conductor, came over to talk to me. "I have some bad news for you, Simon." From my violin case, I looked up at her. "I was told today that only students at this school are allowed to take part in the finals. I'm afraid you won't be able to play at the Albert Hall." Carly, who was sitting to my left, said, "That's not funny at all. I heard that Simon has played in the orchestra all year. We have been working out for almost 9 months, and the finals are in 2 weeks." Jade, who was sitting behind her, jumped up and said, "We can't play in the finals without our lead violinist there. We can't do it." Rebecca, who was standing to my right, said, "No one else can be led. There's not enough time to work on everything without Simon." "Yes, girls," Miss Granger said in a calm voice. "I'm not to blame. I did not make the rules up. I'm only telling you what they told me." She said, "That's so stupid. Don't they know that we're sharing classes together with the boys' school? He spends most of his time here. Why don't we just say that Simon is a student here?" The music teacher told Carly, "Don't think so. Have you forgotten what we're called? The high school for girls in Grangetown. They might see something fishy. Some of the girls said something funny out loud. It's not good. We'll just have to back out." She said, 9 months of work gone down the drain. "Not unless—" "What unless?" Miss Granger asked. She replied, "Oh, nothing." "Do you agree with what I think?" the teacher was asked. Rebecca smiled and said, "I think so." I suddenly understood what her idea was. "No," I said. "The answer is no if you're thinking what I think you're thinking." No. What's the harm?" Jade asked. "It's only for one night. No one is going to know. In any case, I think a skirt will look great on you." The words hurt my feelings. It wasn't funny to me at all. "No, if you don't, you'll let all the girls down." Carly said more. "I would look silly," she told him. "You'll let down the whole school. Could you please try? Put on some clothes and look at yourself. We won't let you pass as a girl if you can't." The answer didn't change, even though it meant a lot. No. There was one more weapon left for Rebecca to use. "Hey, Simon, what are you doing? Tonight? Tomorrow night? Would you like to eat with me? After that, you could go to a club or the movies, but you need to come over to my house. Start by putting on a few things." I was unsure. There was a terrible hush. I had liked Rebecca for a long time. A few weeks ago, I asked her to go on a date, but she ignored me. I finally got what I had been wanting. For a chance to really get to know her and for her to do the same. It would be the start of a lovely relationship. I only had to put on a skirt for a short time. It didn't look like it would be hard to get her hand. "Okay," I replied. "There's a deal." All of the girls smiled. "Could you come over tomorrow around 3? I said, "Sure, I need to go now. Bye." I took my violin case and bag and left. I was thrilled to be going on a date with Rebecca, but I felt a little worry about the cross-dressing. Honestly, I always wanted to try it and felt more feminine than anything, but I never tried it, so the anxiety was high. Let's say I looked okay. Not that. Not possible. I heard Miss Granger tell Rebecca, as I walked out of the hall, "I need to do some shopping tomorrow." When I told my parents what I was going to do on Saturday, they laughed. I didn't tell them the real reason, which was Rebecca's offer. I just said that I didn't want to let the girls down. Mom told me that I made a strong commitment. When I went to Rebecca's house the next day, Rebecca also told her parents what was going to happen, and they laughed when she let me into their house. As Rebecca came downstairs to greet me, her dad said, "Look, it's the new girl." I tried to look chill. I felt calm and at ease, but inside I was a little worried. What did I let myself in for? It wouldn't take long. I thought it would be over in about an hour. A thought. She told me, "Come up to my room." I laughed. I hoped it wasn't going to be when I heard those words last. We were in the bedroom when she shut the door behind us. A very business-like way was used to explain what was going to happen. Okay then. First, take a bath and shave off all of your hair, I thought. Okay, here we go. Let's get feminine. I took a razor and shaving foam, a towel, and a dressing gown to the tub. She screamed through the door and said, "This morning, Miss Granger and I went shopping. We went to this spot that knows a lot about making guys look like girls. Do what you need to do and come back here. Yes, this was very important." I thought I'd look like a guy in a dress by putting on a skirt and tights, and we'd give up on the idea because it was silly. On the other hand, Rebecca seemed like she would do anything to make me more feminine. Still, I agreed, and we planned to go out together tonight. Was soon lying in the bath. After taking a bath, all of my body hair was gone. My body was starting to look more girly. I put on the underwear, and it was a dressing gown that was really a negligee. It came to mind for the first time that I might have to do this. It's strange that instead of hating the idea, it made me a little excited. As I walked, the negligee felt good. I went back to her room. She had put different things on the bed. She chose one. Wear this. A waist cincher is what it's called. It will make your waist look really waspy. I had a hard time putting up the hooks and eyes. Are you sure this fits me? I asked. Rebecca didn't answer, but she did help me lace up the pants. You will soon have the best body, she said as she put on a white lace bra. Next, she gave me a plain pair of nylons, which I put on right away and pulled up all the way to my waist. Don't you just love petticoats? She asked. I love how girly they are, the way they move when you walk. You're lucky to have my favorite one. The next thing was a white short-sleeved top that was stretchy and hugged my new body. Now is the time you've been waiting for. Rebecca gave me a bright red skirt and said, This is what you've been waiting for. It fit me well, so I pulled it up around my waist. Rebecca did some work on the zipper, and it fit perfectly. You wear size 8 shoes, right? She asked, giving me a pair of shoes that all the girls my age were wearing at the time. The heel wasn't too high, which was a good thing, and they were my size. There was no question. Rebecca had talked to my mom first and bought things. I put on the shoes. While they fit okay, they were not comfortable. They didn't really come with comfort in mind. They let me walk in them, but only just. I began to figure out how much Miss Granger had spent on this. Rebecca gave me a gold necklace and said, Now for some jewelry, 3 bands. Your hair, nails, and face are the only things left. That is what she said. These must be the last 3 pieces of the puzzle. It took over an hour. But as time went on, I started to enjoy my more and more becoming women. The lace and nylon felt good against my body, and I loved being spoiled. The wig was the first thing they showed. They had bought it that morning, too. Neck and shoulder, it was long and dark brown. It hurt at first, but I got used to it quickly. Another thing I bought in the morning that was stuck to my fingers were nails, in a color that goes with my skirt. In the end, the makeup that took most of the time. Rebecca was very picky and worked on the foundation for a long time. Lipstick, blush, eyeshadow, and eyeliner. She was finally done. Have a look. I got up. My heart was beating fast. In the early afternoon, I had hoped that I would look too much like a boy right now, but I wished that my becoming more feminine could continue. Let me take a look, I thought. Okay, I looked at myself. When I looked back, I saw this picture of this amazing beauty. She has great hair, clothes that make you look great, and a pretty, girly face. Wow, I was trying really hard not to show how excited I was. She came up behind Rebecca, looked at me in the mirror over my shoulder, and hugged me. You look beautiful. I had to agree with her that she was. That's right, I said. Thanks. The finals should go well for you. Should we go down and Simon show my parents? She stopped. Look, I can't call you Simon. In that way, what should I call you? I was unsure. I guess Simone. That's not the same at all. You're not the same person anymore. I will think of. It's something. Are you all set to descend? Don't forget to put your knees together when you take a seat. I sucked in a deep breath and said, yes. My mind was full of feelings that didn't match up. Pride in how pretty I look as a woman. Guilt for enjoying how I look this. I was nervous about meeting Rebecca's parents and happy when I finally did, being able to make it to the finals after all. being afraid of being seen and made fun of. I was tense because I was thinking about what I wore. Even though I took deep breaths, everything kept making me think of the strange event I was in. The uncomfortable shoes, the swish of the petticoat, and the tug of the corset, and how itchy the wig was. I tried to stay calm as I went after Rebecca. The door to the living room was opened, entered right away, turned off the football game on TV, and said, "Mom and Dad, I want you to meet Katie, my new friend. Do you know Katie?" I sucked in a deep breath and walked into the room like I was on a catwalk. I looked at the far wall and strutted to the other side of the room, turned around, and faced my audience. I flung my arms wide and gave them my nicest smile. "Hi!" I whispered it out loud. The only sound in the room was jaws hitting chests. "Hey, Simon," Rebecca's mom was asked. I said yes and smiled. "Oh, what do you think?" Rebecca asked. Rebecca's mom said, "She's beautiful." Take note of that. I was already a she. "Okay, take a seat. I'll start the kettle for tea." She got up and left the room. "Please give me a cup of tea. To begin, all my hard work had made me need to drink. Second, getting ready took me about 2 hours. I did not wish to change back right away. I couldn't tell Rebecca that, of course. At the very least, the tea would slow down my change back into Simon. Any doubts I had about being able to pass for a girl were gone. Now, I had to look at Rebecca's dad, who was sitting there, speechless. His tongue was almost hanging out. Rebecca gave me one of her magazines and said, "You might want to take a look at the clothes there." I would have only looked at this kind of magazine to gape at a few hours ago. The pretty women inside. This time, I had another reason, so I began to leaf through the page. Soon, Rebecca's mom came back with a tray of tea. "I don't think you want some cake. Now you have to watch your diet," she said. She was right. That corset made it impossible for me to eat cake. I turned down the sugar and took the cup and saucer. I quickly chose that I would. I have to skip it for my health. We talked about many things, including how I was doing in school, the orchestra, and our chances of making it to the national finals. It went by so quickly. Then Rebecca's mom asked, "Have you decided on a uniform? For the show, you know?" The two of us shook our heads. My mom told me that we should go clean up. We sneaked upstairs so I could try on some more things to wear. Rebecca used it as a chance to fix my makeup and hair. She went through her closet and found a navy blue school skirt with pleats. She told me it was her spare as she gave it to me. I took the zip off of my red skirt and began putting on her school uniform. The dress, which was a little longer than the skirt, and a white blouse over it. I wore my shirt, a school tie, and a navy blue cardigan. I'm sure the headmistress, if she had seen me in my uniform, she would have been happy with it. Did she say I had too much makeup on? I looked at myself. I've always liked skirts with pleats, and this one looks great. It flared out from the waist, which made me look very slim and girly. She asked, "Great, what do you want to do now?" "Go back to Simon. Should you wear the uniform, the red skirt, or something else?" Oh, choices. I was sure of what I wanted. To try something. Something else, of course, but I didn't dare say it. So if I'm going to be in these, I guess the more practice I can get as a girl, the better, I said. As much as I try to act casual, I'm pretty used to being this way now. What do you think? Katie, I don't mind. You shouldn't wear the uniform unless you were thinking about going to a St. Patrick's Day party. You might want to try on a dress. That sounds good. After 15 minutes, I was dressed in a black dress, black nylons, suspenders, and a dress. Yes, pantsuits. It was all my idea. I just came out and said, "It looks like," when I saw the dress. "To go with this dress, you should wear nylons." Rebecca said it almost as soon as I did. There was a black suspender belt there. I looked at myself in the mirror again and liked what I saw, while she looked for some black shoes that she had also bought for me. It looked like Miss Granger's money had not been wasted. The heel of these shoes was just the right height, about 2 inches, and they seemed pretty at ease, which is more positivity than the pants with suspenders. The suspenders, bra, and waist cincher all felt bad on me, but made me look good, feel like a woman. Rebecca said, "Look," as I was making sure my seams were straight, What time is it? Almost 6:45. Ready yet? I thought, why does it matter? The taxi will arrive soon. Taxi? Yes. For you to take us to the Italian restaurant. I reserved a table for 2 for 7 o'clock and a taxi to get us there at 10 o'clock. You didn't forget, did you? Come to dinner with you, Rebecca. How did I forget? She stood up and said, I might have time to change. She was putting on a short dress and making some changes to it while looking in the mirror. I was starting to feel scared. I know, I said I had secretly had fun with this session as Katie, but going outside in the public? I don't know. Anyway, I was about to go on my first date with a pretty girl. It wasn't all bad news, though. The dress I was wearing looked great and fit well. Good job! Now I was looking at myself in the mirror with a lot of worry. Can I really leave like this? It made my stomach hurt. I wanted to put on a necklace from her jewelry box, so I looked over her shoulder and took 2. There is a string of beads and more bracelets. I was pretty happy when I put them on. Right now, Rebecca was putting on her makeup. She gave me some perfume, which, after I sprayed my arms and neck, she pointed to the closet. You will, I need a coat. And a handbag. I quickly found a white jacket and put it on. Again, I liked how I looked in the mirror. Yes, I did look good. I found my pants and put my wallet and keys in a black handbag. Rebecca gave me some important makeup items to put in the bag, and she was now ready. She must have been the fastest girl in the world to get ready. She looked beautiful. The front doorbell went off. She put on her perfume and told herself, Here we go. Are you all set? I sucked in a deep breath and said, Yes. I felt awful. Come on, she told me. Have fun. I took my bag with me and followed. She opened the front door when she got to the hall. Taxi, we are just coming. The cab driver went back to his car. Becky poked her head through the living door and said, Mom and Dad, we're leaving. Have a nice day. She grabbed a jacket from the door hanger and dragged me outside. She opened the back door of the cab and slid over to the other side to get in. I jumped in after her. The taxi arrived at the location. While Rebecca paid the taxi driver, I carefully got out of the car using the way she showed me. It was definitely more proper than before. Rebecca grabbed my arm and led me into the restaurant. I told her you have to do all the talking. She agreed, opened the door to the restaurant, and led me inside. I asked for a table for 2. Rebecca Walker. Yes, Miss Walker, please sit down at table number 5. Luckily, almost no one was there, so no one paid any attention to us. I sat next to Rebecca and was always amazed by how beautiful she was. How did she feel about me? I really wanted to tell her how I felt, but I didn't know how to when I was dressed like this. Or the fact that I liked how I looked. I thought she might have guessed the first one and hoped she hadn't guessed the second one. I really liked the food. Nothing bad happened, and my worries went away, even though the place quickly got full. We talked quietly, and as the wine flowed, the conversation became more natural. When the bill came, Rebecca took her purse out to find the cash to pay. What now? She inquired. It's just 10 to 10. Still want to go out with friends? Go clubbing? I had forgotten that she had said that yesterday. Go clubbing, being squished in a crowded room, oh no. Coming from the male side of the fence, I had seen it and I didn't like it very much. I was too shocked to answer. All of my jitters came back. Rebecca must have sensed my worry because she said, Come on, let's go powder our noses and talk about what we're going to do. She stood up and put some money on the table. She went straight to the mirror, pulled lipstick out of her purse, and began to fix her makeup. I copied as I moved next to her. Okay, we fixed our lipsticks, cleaned up our clothes, and went back into the restaurant. We put on our jackets, said goodbye, and ran out into the street. There's a nice bar a couple of blocks away, Rebecca said. Take this path. She grabbed my hand and the two of us walked together. Don't bother, no one is around. Without a doubt, she wasn't scared. The boy in the black dress wasn't here. We found the bar and Rebecca placed our order. We found a quiet, poorly lit spot and sat down. Not a single other customer was nearby. It looked like no one had seen us at all. Rebecca, I asked, do you really like me like this? Like Katie? Wouldn't you like it better if I dressed as Simon? I like you as Simon, but I really like you as Katie. You look really pretty. I could feel my cheeks getting red. I said in a whisper. I like wearing dresses. Really? I thought I would hate it, but I really liked how you dressed me up this afternoon. I hoped you wouldn't make me go back to feeling like Simon right away. Thanks for watching. Check out Patreon if you want to have early access to the other parts. If not, it will be online in a couple of days.